Welcome to the online video resources for head and neck by numbers. My name is Felicia Sigurd, and I am a dental hygienist and the author of Head and Neck by Numbers. I will also be your guide through the names, locations, and relationships outlined in the text. So let's start with how we use the text. It is very important that you do not write the names on the pictures. The whole point is that you're going to write the number that associates with the other page. So then you can flip it around with that coil binding and just look at the image and quiz yourself. So we'll go through, if you're looking at figure 1, the way it would work is I would say number 1 is superior, and on the screen will flash the image of what you need to color. Now, these videos were made to be short, so I'm not going to just stand here while you color, so feel free to pause me, color, and then start again. Now, we have to get something straight. I am not giving you the grade for this class. So if you find that there's a discrepancy between my book and what your teacher tells you, go with your teacher, okay? But other than that, I think that your teacher and I are both helping you to be a better student and learn anatomy in fun and interesting and hopefully helpful ways. Figure 15 is venous drainage of the head. Now, I'll make one thing clear. The venous drainage doesn't necessarily follow the arterial paths, so be careful. Number 1 is the large vein that drains into the heart. It is the superior vena cava. Number 2 is the right brachiocephalic vein, and it has been cut. Number 3 is the left brachiocephalic vein. Number 4 is the internal jugular vein. Number 5 is the facial vein. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any cute mnemonics like Acisa. Number 6 is the mandibular foramen. Number 7 is the inferior alveolar vein. Number 8 is the mental foramen. Number 9 is the mental vein. Number 10 is the deep facial vein. And as you can see, it communicates with a large group of veins behind the ramus of the mandible. Number 11 is the pterygoid plexus. It is a large group of veins that communicate with each other, and it sits right there by the temporomandibular joint. It has a very distinct purpose. It can fill and drain as needed so that it can cushion the maxillary artery, you know, the one we just learned about? It's such an important artery that the pterygoid plexus wraps around it and cushions it against the pressures of opening and closing your jaw. Number 12 is the inferior ophthalmic vein. Number 13 is the angular vein. Number 14 is the superior ophthalmic vein. Number 15 is the supraorbital vein. 16 is the cavernous venous sinus. This sinus actually intermingles in your brain, and the blood can flow to and from it. As you can see, it communicates with the ophthalmic veins, and we're about to learn the other vein, the deep temporal, that it communicates with. We need to be really careful with any sort of infection that gets in the bloodstream because it can travel directly to the brain through these veins. Number 17 is the deep temporal vein, and it is also a branch of the cavernous venous sinus. 18 is the superficial temporal vein. 19 is the maxillary vein, and as you can see, it doesn't have nearly as many branches as the maxillary artery. Number 20 is the retromandibular vein. 21 is the posterior division of the retromandibular vein. 22 is the anterior division of the retromandibular vein. 23 is the posterior auricular vein. 24 is the occipital vein. 25 is the external jugular vein. 26 is the left subclavian vein.